Purchase the Millionaire Savings Plan available on Amazon.com and BrokeGeniuses.com. Learn how to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, get out of debt, save more money, achieve your financial goals, and live a better life. What's going on? Another episode of the Millionaire Savings Plan talk. Today's talk is going to be primarily focused on the talk of recession. Okay, and the thumbnail kind of shortly explains what a recession is. You look at the thumbnail; it's basically a digression of the GDP. It's just a downslide of the GDP rate, and also a lot of other things, job loss, um, people losing their homes, properties, assets, companies going bankrupt. Those are kind of sort of signs. It's not all of the signs of recession, but those are the meat and potatoes of what a recession is. I'm going to be talking not so much about recession or trying to talk about the actual vernaculars and what everything as far as a recession is concerned of. What I'm going to be talking about is more so how you can deal with trying to become wealthy, rich, regardless of it's a recession or not. Because let's be honest, let's keep it a buck, right? It ain't probably ever a time in history of black people in this country that we have not been in some type of, like, just look at it from a perspective of all black people. I don't care if you're talking about Adios Amigos or FB Duck, FBG, or whatever, FBA, or Africans that came from the, boat, off the boat, fresh off the boat, just got off the plane, just black people. They still look at you like you're a black person, regardless of where you came from, whatever. So, as far as that, in a nutshell, it's always been a state of depression and recession. In as far as the black people in America as a whole. Okay, so if you want to challenge that theory, pretty much I still have StreamYard, pretty much active as of late, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Uh money is kind of funny. I don't get that much support on this channel. Nobody lights up the Cashapp. Nobody loves me. They just listen to me a little bit. So I still got this up, but I don't know how long I'm gonna keep StreamYard up. I know that probably will make my haters happy, but the thing is that I do have the ability to open up the panel and have anybody basically challenge what I've said as far as black people has always been in a recession or depression. The most famous person, or I guess most notable person that said that, actually long before I've said it, was basically the economist. Not so much even economist, but he's not just an economist. Um, is Dr. Claude Anderson. He's the one that has said that repeatedly. Okay, so Dave Tao saw your comment. Said steps 1 to 3, got it, no problem. Okay, so pretty much you let's see here. You got, that means you got okay. Steps three. Did you get a reward, or where did you start? Did you start at step one? Because some people is like, they some people got more. I mean, hey man, I've been I drive around, I'll be offline, I'll be online. Some people just got more money than others. I mean, some people even like, not so much they got money, but they got credit lines and they got credit cards and all kind of stuff, and they got actual capital, cash on hand more than others. I mean, because see, here's the thing: I'm not a person. Even though I do recommend you to be basically out of debt. Like to be honest, like I mean, my whole thing is that you're broke if you have debt. Like if you have more debt than you have assets. In my opinion, as far as what Abdul, the book author of the Millionaire Savings Plan, you know, basically channel owner of the Broke Geniuses, brokegeniuses.com. I say if you have more debts than you have assets, as far as what those amounts are, you're broke. In my opinion. Okay, but some people don't agree with that. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't argue what somebody else thinks or whatever, but that's what my opinion is, because in the business world, a company is insolvent if its balance sheet is in debt, is in the red. So why would the private sector, or the public finance be anything different? But if you got where did you start, Dave Todd? Did you start on step one, or you just within the last couple weeks or couple days went from step one to step three? I mean, because some people real good at doubling their money and stuff like that. In my history, as far as things, let me go to the chart as far as where what the steps are. Let me go to that chart. Let's see here. I gotta generalize this. Hold on, let me generalize this, because I don't want see, the thing is, I don't want nobody knowing, I'm saying, I don't want nobody knowing my actual rewards, because that should be definitely private information. Um but let me get that chart, and then just let me make that chart depersonalized. Let me depersonalize that chart real quick, and I'm still waiting on your response. If you there, Dave Tao, or if you're not comfortable sharing, that's all right too. That's fine. But if you got on step three, that's pretty much you got 4 grand, so that's good. That's pretty good, because I wanted to know what steps you started off of, because I wanted to kind of ask you what rewards you got. How hard was it to get to those steps? Because some people are, it comes easier than others. Um, it actually is one of those things. This is a challenge. This is also a goal. It's a couple things. The Millionaire Savings Plan is a challenge. It's a plan. It's goals as well. It's a lot of different things all rolled into one. So it's like basically going back to the challenge aspect of it. It very much is a challenging to get higher up these steps. It's not easy. For some people, it might be, but it all depends. All right, now we got that. Okay. All right, so let me depersonalize this. Let me depersonalize this one so I could post this picture. Let's just make this red. This clear this out. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right. So let me take a picture of this and upload this. Let me get this out the way. Shit here. Because yeah, some people they have more money than others. Like some people start off at step 5. Some people start off at step 6. And if you do have debt, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not on that step. It's whatever cash you have on hand. Because in the book, I talk about ways where you can get out of debt. You know, because basically, depending on how much debt you have, where you start, where kind of you anchor, like when you, let's say you have $16,000, and that's what you started off with. You started off trying to, millionaire savings plan, and basically you had 16,000. Well, that's what you have. That's what you kind of anchor off with. You start off with, what you have. And what I say is you get a reward. Technically, as I'm going to show this picture here, you technically get a reward for what you started off with. Like, so if you basically start off with 16 grand, that's step 5. So you technically could get 5 rewards, because it's based off of basically you get a reward after each step, and the rewards are very much important. You basically you get your reward after completion of each step. That's the way that you reward yourself for accomplishing the task of completing the step. So if you got to step 3, that's 4 grand. So that's powerful. I'm gonna tell you, like, even if you have, a lot of times people react to money as if money is no big deal. That is the biggest lie that the devil ever told, that money is no big deal. Like, I mean, yeah, I get it. In certain situations, it's not gonna save you. It's not a big deal. But in a degree of normalcy, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not only is it a big deal, it'll save your life. And I'm not saying like something on no negative stuff. I'm talking like I've been in situations where I'm constantly in situations where if I had more money, or like my money pretty much changed my situation. Like, like Lauryn Hill, she on one of her songs, she says, "Funny how money changes the situation." Like, literally, money does change a lot of things. Like I call it throwing money at a situation. So like, let's say your car break down, just throw some money at it. I mean, most people got a mechanic. They got somebody that they know to fix their car. You go get your car, your trans went out. You throw $2,000 at that situation, and it's resolved. Well, what if you didn't have $2,000? Okay, what if you didn't have that? Like, everybody's situation ain't different. Like to be honest, like, okay, just today, I was in Target. The community I was in was like a C grade community. And I was just casually, I was in Target, in some kind of like probably 30-year-old white guy was like, he was like, well, my my lawyer basically retainer ran out, so I need another $10,000 to give my lawyer for retainer. So basically what he's saying is whatever he gave his lawyer previously, and basically shout out to the lead attorney, he talks about this more in detail. Whatever he gave his attorney for whatever case, maybe he's going through a divorce, I don't know. He blew through it. His lawyer called him, is like, hey, I'm gonna need more money because basically your case is ongoing, and to continue this on, I'm gonna need 10 racks. And literally that's what he was saying to his buddy or whoever he was talking to over the phone, was that his lawyer asked for a retainer for $10,000. So and that basically, it's not, he just said that, he said he needs some more money. He needs more retainer money, meaning he already gave his lawyer some money and he needs to retain him. So he needs to pay another $10,000. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, like, my situation, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't know what he paid. Let's just say he paid the lawyer $10,000. So paying him another 10,000 to be like 20 grand. That's a lot of goddamn money for me. All right. For some people, they got it. They got that money. And then here's another thing. You don't know what people do actually have, because a lot of people are, basically using credit, and let's just keep it all the way above. White people have a lot more credit access, and this is common knowledge. This ain't no like made up stuff or whatever. They have more credit access. I mean, it is a fact. They wrote movies about it, books, TV shows. They talk about it. It's news articles. It's ongoing litigation. It's common knowledge. So he could very well have, pretty decent credit lines, and he just able to, deal with his credit, and then he's probably got a decent job. He might be in debt because here's another thing. I'll never forget when I was living up north in the northern part of Illinois, when some of the richest, like literally the richest part of Illinois. People don't know that, but the northern suburbs is the richest part of Illinois. And I was installing cable. I wasn't even actually, to be honest, I wasn't living there at the time. I was just working there. I was installing cable. I was a contractor for Comcast or Xfinity, and we were at this dude's house, his family's house. He wasn't there. His wife was there, and I'll never forget. They had open. She was on her computer. We were trying to get basically his cable to work, because basically the cable was the internet, cable TV, and we were trying to get that to work, and the woman had her computer, his wife had the computer open, and she had her QuickBooks open. She had her QuickBooks software open. And I never forget when I saw the red marks, or the red in the basically, I saw about $4 million in the red. And it was like, wow, and this dude was rich. Like, he had basically a mansion, and he had like 4-car garage. He had all these, and this was like 2013. Okay, he had all these on lifts. If you don't know what a lift is, it's like basically some people they like kind of somewhat collect cars, like the rich do this. They have lifts in their garage for their cars. So basically, they got so many cars that, okay, like let's say they have a 4-car garage, they'll have a lift, so the car basically they'll use that 4-car garage and have 8 cars, because they'll have a couple lifts or whatever, so they can stack cars on top of each other. So like, yeah, he had tennis courts. I think he had a sauna in his basement, but I wasn't sure. I think so. I mean, he had a lot of stuff going on, but when he came home, his conversations verified what that QuickBooks software balance was saying, as far as it being in the negative. He said he filed bankruptcy recently, and he was complaining about something as far as what he didn't get because he filed bankruptcy. I think some contractor or something wouldn't give him some information, or some remote codes or something like that. Because that's another thing. A lot of rich people, they don't just have no regular TV with no doggone cable interface and a sound bar. Nah, they have wires throughout the house with stereo speakers throughout the house, and they have like a main audio system that basically controls the audio in each room throughout the house, and it connects to basically the cable box, and that's how they get high quality audio in the cable feed throughout the house. Having just a regular TV connected to the internet or whatever is just it's too boring. They have basically a custom built house, and before it's built, they have audio ran throughout the house and everything like that. I'm the person, man, that used to set like basically the cable feed and the internet, help them set up. Like it's been custom built homes that was like they were already working on them, and I was the one that had to install a cable basically from the outside into inside. Man, it used to take like half a day, if not the whole day, like 8 hours sometimes, to install all of the basically cable infrastructure. Like you had to go to the pole, to the outside pole, install a cable feed from the pole, or if it's underground, run it underground, and then install a cable box outside, and then that cable box outside will basically run inside to the house, and then you have to connect it inside and run it through all of the rooms in the house. Like this one dude, he was a bond trader, and I had to set up everything from the outside and the inside, and it was all brand new, and I wasn't even making nowhere near the amount of money that I should have been making. The company that I was working for, they had got a lawsuit because they weren't paying their employees and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, everybody just, everybody got what they got. Like, but to minimize, anything, any small amounts of money, whatever, like, even if like somebody that works at Walmart, or they work at Target or whatever, and basically whatever they make, it really doesn't, it's not to be minimized, because at the end of the day, you can work somewhere and be richer actually than a lot of people that don't that make more than you, because a lot of times it's about what you actually have than what you actually make. Because if you if you make a lot of money and you don't keep everything, like if you're in debt, because it's basically a lot of people, they live check to check, even as reported, like 1 out of 7 people that make $250,000 or more, they're living check to check. So a lot of that is like because they overspending, So it's like if you able to live within your means and basically um get to a point where you are not spending a lot of money and you're saving more than you actually spending, you can easily be working somewhere and be more affluent financially than your manager, boss, or anything like that. Because see, here's another thing. A lot of times when it comes to working a job or whatever, if you get a nice car and blow your cover, this is almost you got to be, you almost got to be you got to be really like undercover about this because if you it like for example if you like work a job where let's just say you work at always go to Starbucks. If you work at Starbucks and you pulling up in a let's just say a Ferrari, you pulling up to Starbucks in a Ferrari, well, you showing off more than what your regional manager or your manager would definitely be as far as his car. And then dressing good and everything, and people actually know that you basically have over $250,000 saved and you working at Starbucks. They gonna probably hate on you because it's like, what are you working here for? They're gonna ask you that. If they then that's probably them being nice. Why are you working here? And then if the worst is they'll probably work you more than everybody else because basically people really don't like people that have more money than them. People are really shallow like that. So they might a lot of people, a lot of your coworkers, even your managers, they'll hate on you if you actually are better off than they are. you know and don't be black and then be more affluent than your white coworkers and stuff like that. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna be honest with you. All I know is, and this is what happened to me. This was like before I got let go from my job. I got a 2012 Chevy Impala LT. It was like 300 horses. It's a real decent car, but it was kind of in bad shape, to be honest with you. But it was a nice car. It's like one of them cars. I recommend anybody to get an Impala because one thing is nice about an Impala, like a 2009 and up, or even like 2008 and up, it fits in like the hood, and it also fits in okay in like the upper class suburbs. So it's like it's a car that kind of like blends in. Um and the thing is, when I showed up to work in this car, all of a sudden I was let go. And this car wasn't even no brand new car. All I know is I was let go, man. That's all I know. I can't I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if the car had something to do with it, but it was right around the time that I had this car. And I only had it for like a week because turns out like it was basically a situation where I didn't put my insurance information in time, and then they basically pulled the loan from me. So it worked out great because I would not be wanting to pay no car loan right about now. So it actually worked out for me. So anyway, yeah, I mean the thing is that with this plan, you could actually, it works as long as like any type of job that you have, whether you working at Starbucks or Arby's or you work at a law firm, it actually works, and it works pretty well. So the thing is that back to the recession. The recession is it's something that, like I say, they are talking about a lot. You're hearing a lot of talk about it, and a lot of times recessions are kind of like a thing where it comes and goes. It's cyclical. So yeah, the thing with that is, like I said, it's a mindset thing. Okay, if you have a recession, if you get tricked to think, if you watch the media, watch the news, or even listen to too many people keep talking about recession, you want to listen to things, but you want to back up off of it. You want to take the necessary precautions, but you want to back up off of it, because the thing about it is, I'm telling you, I didn't really prepare for this, because the reason why I didn't prepare for this live stream is that I've been through in my life quite a few recessions. I've seen what happens. Mostly what happens, is just like in a thumbnail. People lose their jobs, people lose their houses, companies go bankrupt. I mean, the worst that I've ever seen in my lifetime was 2008. 2008 was like, man, companies that was in business before the slave trade went out of business, like Lehman Brothers, stuff like that. And then a lot of companies actually were saved by the US government, such as AIG Group, Goldman Sachs. You can even say GM and Chrysler was saved basically by government. It was a lot of companies, including banks, that were saved by a government bailout, basically the taxpayer bailout. So the thing is that that was probably the worst recession that I've ever seen. And you could some people call it the Great Recession. I think because of just how they tried to spin it. It really was a depression, but they really didn't want to, I guess, scare people. So they kind of just made it they said it was a recession. But I in my opinion, it was probably more close to a depression, in my opinion, because see, here's the thing: in the depression, a lot of people lost their job. It was like a lot of people complaining about losing their job, and a lot of people did lose their job. That's how the Great Recession was. That was how 2008 was. It was like a lot of people had literally lost their job. Like it was like everybody sitting around, like, just not everybody, but a lot of people sitting around basically unemployed, looking for jobs, can't find a job. It was women that were actually, they were going to Nevada to, like, they never prostituted a day in their life. They all of a sudden just like, going to Nevada, joining the bunny ranch. It was crazy. Like a lot of people probably were in high school, probably are young, and they weren't around, like they weren't adults technically in 2008. So they wasn't like really feeling it too much. But I'm gonna tell you, it was rough. Okay. Nothing short but rough. But what you want to be careful of is, back to the mind, you don't want to have a recession in your mind. And basically you don't want to follow all of this crap about, you know this is what's going on, and then have a fear mentality. Because one of the things I'll say is that you don't want to have that fear mindset. You don't want to have that. You just, it's just not something that you really want. The thing is that at the end of the day, is ebbs and flows. You do not want to have no fear mindset about this, because if you go with the news media and they have you all fearful and whatnot, next thing you know, you have a recession in your mind, and that's the worst recession of all, when you have a recession in your mind. Because at the end of the day, you can't. once you have that recession in your mind, it's like a mental blockage. And a lot of people do have that recession in their mind, or that depression in their mind. Like my grandmother, she doesn't want to throw away anything. She doesn't like to throw away stuff, because she was basically in the throes of the she was born in the throes of the Great Depression. She watched her grandmother, not wanting to throw away stuff, and being like really having to be really frugal to survive and stuff like that. And she had to do a lot of stuff to survive. And it's like she really, really is petrified of trying to throw away stuff, because in her mind she has it stuck in her mind. Like me, I mean, it's like I'm cognitive of that, and you got to have a cognitive understanding of also abundance, have a mindset of abundance, because at the end of the day, the thing is that the world is abundant, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When you go on the open water, right? You go out in the water, you don't want to take that abundance mindset with you out in the water. The reason why is that, well, you might be on land and things might be somewhat abundant, but if you don't pack enough supplies on that ship, or overpack, you're going to be in trouble in case something happens, such as you get caught out in the ocean, and you get set adrift, and something happens where it didn't go as planned. Now you out in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, and you are short on supplies, and it's becomes a serious issue. And then also, of course, when camping and stuff like that and whatnot, you want to have enough provisions. So the thing is as far as in normal times, as far as normalcy, mostly everything is abundant. Okay, having an abundance mindset is helpful. Just thinking about it, like a lot of times we just don't really think about stuff. Like, I'm finding myself, I have a garden, right? Going back to my garden, I got to get all of these seeds together. I'm starting off late, and I'm thinking to myself, like, all of the vegetables that I've had, I threw it away. I threw away these seeds, like, green pepper seeds, and you know, a lot of different things that I just threw away. Now I gotta actually go buy seeds, so I can actually grow crops, and it's like, man, I mean, I wish I would have kept some of those seeds, or learn how to keep them, because I could utilize those seeds. So yeah, I mean, it's as long as you have land, as long as you have ability to, you can grow crops, and you can, if you fish, you can catch fish, you can hunt. It's very, very helpful to have that abundance mindset. I remember thinking about, reminding myself that trillions are made every day, are traded on the stock market every single day, traded on the stock market. And then another thing a lot of people don't know, I'm somewhat into forex, not much into it as I am with stocks, but forex is actually a bigger market than the stock market. It's very huge, and you can actually make a lot more money with forex. And I'm not gonna say it's easier, but it's just a bigger market. It's a really big market. And I remember following a lot of people on YouTube that made a lot of money on forex. So the thing is that this thing is really big. It's a lot of ways you can actually make money, and having, like I said, a recession in your mind is a problem. That is something that you do not want to do. Now, I'm going to talk about one thing today, and that's it. I'm gonna talk about one point that basically, um I was reminded of this today. I mean, not today, but it was like, I think yesterday. I came to this like aha moment, and I'm gonna share that with you today. And this is if you are having problems, with like a lack of money and stuff like that. This is a reminder, and this is just also a reminder to myself. A lot of times, I rewatch my live streams. Most of the times, almost every live stream I do, I watch it, and if it's a really good live stream, I watch it over again because, like I say, these are like video logs for myself. These are it's like a video diary. Okay, so we put this out here. So this is what I'm going to leave you with here today. Lack of money is a people problem. What do I mean by that? Why is lack of money a people problem? Lack of money is a people problem is because people money is not something that money is not some machine that, or some like, dragon that's out in the mountains somewhere, and you have to climb mountains and actually go slay this dragon that's called money. Money is controlled by people. And going back to forex, every country for the most part has some type of system of currency, and it's controlled by people. The basically, the United Kingdom, they have the pound, the British pound. Canadians have the dollar. The Mexicans have the peso. The United States have the dollar. I think France has, what does France have? I think they have euros. I think they're under the euro system or something like that. But each country has their own currency. And people have either, let's see here. People have basically more than others. I mean, basically you got all the different classes, right? You got elite, you got uber wealthy people, rich, wealthy, middle class, you know, and these people have more. Some of these people have more money than others. They have businesses, they have investments, they have inheritance, whatever the means, they have this money. And it's like, it's people. The government, the United States is a government of people. It's not a machine. It's not. All these countries are controlled by people. All of the stock markets, the New York Stock Exchange, the Chicago CME Group, all of these are controlled by systems and laws and people. So if you don't, like, for example, if you don't have a lot of money, if you're struggling with money, you're struggling with people. It's a people problem. It's not no, like, I used to be scratching my head, like, like I said, like, this is an aha moment for me. Like, I mean, I'm learning. Every day I'm trying to really, really center at this. Like, I ain't gonna lie, this is not something that I did not know. It's just, I made it really, really easy, like almost like a meme, like literally, like just now, like this wordage right here. Lack of money is a people problem. It is. It's just that simple. It's not. Like I used to be like, damn, why I don't have this and this and this and this and this and this. And then I'm like, well, like back to the other like book that I always recommend, The Millionaire Next Door. That book tells you who is the actual millionaires. What's the average millionaire? What do they do? What do they have? Who has the millions? As far as the groups that have the millions. Who are the people that have the millions or the money? And it goes back to people. Some of the smartest people, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not very much a very social person like that. I can be, but I'm not an introvert. I mean, not an introvert, extrovert. Like I'm a people person. Like I just go up to random people and just start talking to them. I don't do that. My mom used to be like that, but I'm gonna tell you, my mom, she was really good. Primarily, she was good at working. She wasn't that good at business. My grandfather was better in business than anybody I know, like literally, like anybody that I actually know. I don't know anybody that was better than in business that of people that I actually know. I don't know anybody. I mean, I'm not saying that it ain't nobody, but I don't know them. I don't know them personally. I know people that are millionaires that I went to high school with, that I grew up with. Um, I mean, I'm aware of the billionaires out there, but I don't necessarily know anybody personally that's been better in business than my grandfather that made millions of dollars. Like personally, no, I don't know of anybody like that. Them personally. I know it's people that have, but I ain't been in their house. I don't know their parents. I don't know their sisters, brothers. They don't know me. I don't, what I'm saying, have access to them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just basically one thing I do know. Like I said, I mean, this is something that I zeroed in on. Not basically just money in general. It lack of it is a people problem. Not saying that you gotta kiss people's ass or anything like that. Cause see, here's the deal: it's guys that or people that actually just they do all kind of shady stuff to other people or even lie to people to get money from them because they know. I mean, yeah, there's people that have money or trying to plead the masses to you got men that they basically panda bears. They pander to women to extract currency from them. Women have a lot of money, and I'm just talking about women. Women have a lot of money. Okay, women spend a lot of money. Women love to spend money. I mean, they actually have a saying for women spending money is called retail therapy. So women actually they love to spend money. They don't necessarily like to spend money on certain things. Like certain things, like women primarily don't like to buy electronics like that. Like it's like the it's changing like from the millennials and zennials and stuff, but traditionally women tend to not like to really buy, like if they don't need certain technology for or electronics for their job or for their children, they not really checking on that like that. They don't care. Basic stuff like a TV, maybe a Roku box, they're fine. They don't really need a lot of other stuff. They're not into it like that. They're not into video games like that and stuff like that. So it's like basically, um, they do have a lot of money though. They have a lot of access to money because a lot of women have access to if they have a husband, um, even so in cases boyfriend, they have access to that that man's currency as well as their own currency. So they do yield a lot of power as far as financial power. So what you have is you have a lot of have a lot of men that they try to basically market to that. They try to even a lot of what's going on in America is um you know a breakdown in, I guess you want to say, a breakdown of relationships, men and male and female relationships, family structures and stuff like that. So you got a lot of women that um they like to feel a problem. Like for example, what I mean by that is if it's something that is wrong, and they might logically not they might logically know it's wrong to do something, like for example, like let's just say um I don't know, cheat on their husband, but to go to an emotional response with it, like basically going with their emotion, they feel they're more emotional, so they'll be like, okay, well, it's right because I feel like it's right. So a lot of times what you'll have is you have men that actually they will play off of women's emotions and their delusions and make money off of that, those delusions and emotions, and make a lot of money doing it, because they have a lot of money. They have quite a bit of money. They have quite a bit of, like, they'll waste money. They have so much money, and yeah, you got got guys that they market to women to do that. Almost like, I don't want to say a pimp, but kind of like very much like a pimp, because that's what a pimp would do. A pimp, one of the things about a pimp is he knows what to say to extract currency out of a woman. Okay, that's basically, it's one of the aspects, it's one of the main aspects of what a pimp knows how to do. He knows how to um say things, the right things, to extract currency out of a woman. So when you have men that are like, the panda bears that pander to women's emotions and their lifestyle uh issues, they extract currency from those women. So in a nutshell, it's kind of some pimp shit. It really is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that because, to a certain extent, I don't have to, and I don't care, because, like I say, I mean, my plan works. That's what I know. That's what I'm selling. I'm selling my plan. I'm using my plan, and it works. So I don't have to do anything stupid or, pander, nothing like that. I don't have to. And I know for a fact this is something that most people are not going to adhere to, because most people run away from money. That's why most people are broke, because they run away from their financial problems, because it's very, very difficult to deal with financial problems. I mean, I have I have basically, I was watching a upload or a stream of Lonzo Hall, basically the financial advisor, and I saw like 5 views. And this guy's selling insurance. He's talking about, trying to maintain capital, wealth, legacy, all kind of stuff, and he's got low views. So it's like, I'm like, well, okay. It just pretty much reminds me that most people, they are going to be broke. They're what they choose to view, whatever it is, might be because it's boring or whatever. That's what they choose. It is what it is. It's nothing. It's no salt on them. It's no salt on them. It's just, that's what they choose. Now, would they listen to a woman that came out with like a halter top and she had a nice pair of titties, and she was talking about, let's just say, the Millionaire savings plan or something like that? Yeah, they would. They would probably listen to that. I mean, marketing is definitely something that is important. Um, I don't have any money right now to pay any woman with big titties to come on my live stream at the moment, but that might be something in the future. I mean, I do want to, marketing, it does work. It does work pretty well. I'm going to show you something that basically, it kind of goes with what I'm talking about as far as marketing. It is very effective. Even if it's comedic, it's still effective. However, the message gets out, it gets out. It's not gonna please everybody, but the message, as long as it's getting out, it might be somewhat comical, might be somewhat entertaining, but it's still the message. Um, so as my slow internet loads up, we're gonna see what's the latest on my Facebook page. So let me put my Facebook page in the chat, in the comments. Let's put that there. So definitely like my Facebook page. Then also to mention, not to mention, basically, it is a war going on in Ukraine, and it's basically Ukraine versus Russia. The world, is literally like, it's a lot going on. I don't want to say WW3, but it's not nothing nice. It ain't that far off from it. So it's a lot going on, man. It all of this stuff, it affects the market, but you don't want to have that in your mind. You don't want to have World War III in your mind, or a recession, anything negative in your mind. You want to plan for things. If you able to get a bunker, and that's what you feel like you want to do, you know, you get a bunker. I mean, hey, if that's something that you want to get, you get. Like, I'm from Chicago. All these people getting shot, they have body armor. They have clothes that are made that have body armor. I'm not saying that people are, if you're getting shot in the head, I mean, it's, unless they do have, I mean, I'll be honest with you, they do have hats that have body armor too. I'm very intelligent. Okay. I'll just say, like, I'm not saying that people that got shot or killed are dumb, but the thing is that you might want to wear some, if you got a lot of ops, or if you might think you might get shot or something, you might want to wear a bulletproof hat, a bulletproof baseball hat while you sitting in the car talking to a chick, a bulletproof coat or jacket. I mean, it only makes sense. And you might not want to sit in the car because that's a sitting duck. You don't want to sit in no car unless you police. And then definitely they have bulletproof cars and stuff like that. It's just the best uh thing to do is be defensive. Peace of mind is everything. It just is. So I definitely know that this is something I post regularly, so I know this is something that I posted this a couple days ago. Yeah, it was like 100 degrees today in Chicago. So it was pretty hot. Here we go. So let me expand this. Let me show you about marketing a little bit. And this dude did this with a cell phone camera and TikTok. It's just TikTok. Hold on, let me pause this. All right, let me play this here. And definitely, man, hit that Cashapp, brother. If you got it, and what I'm saying, pretty much you rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Hit that Cashapp. And if I have been coming on your channel and you know what I'm saying, you like me or whatever, get out the shadows, man. Hit that Cashapp, man. I definitely done supported a lot of people and I don't get no support. So guess what? You don't support me, I don't support you. Yep. That's how that goes. If it's fuck me, it's definitely fuck you. That's always live in effect. Let's see here. So let me see. There we go. All right. So this is marketing, ladies and gentlemen. As long as it's effective, it's effective. Very, very effective. So let me get this off here and show you this here. Let's see here. All right, there we go.
Another beautiful day at Yaden's Auto Sales. Whoa. What's crack lacking, you broke motherfuckers? Just in time for hot girl summer. I got you broke bitches a fucking Ultima. You love these motherfuckers. And here's the best part. It's leather, it's got a sunroof, and it's got the bows so you can blaze that fucking Megan Thee Stallion in this piece of shit, you broke bitch. And here's the best part. It's already kind of a piece of shit. Hey, it's already fucked up, so you ain't got to worry about that, because I'm sure if it wasn't, you'd fuck it up anyway. Tail light. It's already been tased. Who gives a fuck? Like I said, you're going to destroy it anyway. 2.5 SL in this motherfucker. Not a bad fucking ride. 230,000 miles. That's okay, because hot girl summer, bitch. Anyway, this motherfucker is cheap. Come get this bad boy. $29.95, 1625 South Main Street. Give us a call, 877-289. 6, motherfucker!
Yep. That'll do it. I mean, as long as the message gets out, that's marketing. And he got a lot of views on that video. He got a lot of views, I mean, some people say that's misogynistic, but hey, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand it's a lot of people that it is actually doing that, driving around, listening to hot girl, the city girls and shit, whatever. Megan the Stallion, and yeah, they broke as hell. But if you point out the truth or the actual fact, people don't like that. People don't like to point that out. Just like another thing, like you gotta understand the people that's gotten a lot of plastic surgery, a lot of women getting this plastic surgery. You gotta understand all of these people are not financially sufficient. You gotta understand that some of these women that's got the BBLs, breast implants, trying to buy eyelashes, wigs, weaves. Some of these people are late on their rent or mortgage, or going to be late on their rent and mortgage, and getting all of these, body enhancements. You got to understand that it's always some people in that scenario that ain't gonna be able to really afford that stuff, but they still want it and they buy it. But back to the point, lack of money is a people problem. Okay, it is a people problem. Okay, not dealing with white people. Let's just say it. You got to deal with these fuckers. They have a lot of money. I don't care what it is, Jewish, you know, white folks from Europe, whatever. You got to deal with these fuckers. They have a lot of money. They, might do whatever, fuck shit, snake shit. You got to deal with these fuckers. They have the money. It just is what it is, man. I mean, that might sound like some coon shit, whatever, but I mean, you work for these motherfuckers, so don't front. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to deal with the racism or whatever. You got to talk to these motherfuckers, man. You got to walk in the bank and be like, motherfucker, why can't I get a loan? If your credit is good and then you got the money in your bank, you got to do this. Like, this is what I would do. Okay. If you got $10,000 and you bank with any bank, right? You walk in and you should establish a rate. This is what I've read from financial experts, right? Years ago, decades ago. You should establish a relationship with your banker. Because, okay, this is like if you wanted to get money to go into business or start up some type of restaurant or something like that. You should go to that bank that you bank with, establish a relationship with the banker there, the loan representative or whatever at the bank. Talk to them, just gauge them out and ask them, what will it take? It's their job to tell you what you can do to qualify to get a loan. If you got $10,000 in that bank, what you should be able to do is you should be able to ask them for a secured loan. What do I mean by a secured loan? You just get a loan off of that $10,000 that you have in the bank. Just like a secured credit card. You could actually do that easier with a secured credit card because basically you shouldn't get no secured card if you got really good credit. If your credit is above 600, you shouldn't get no secured credit card. But the thing is that you can do this with a secured credit card because basically what they do is the same thing. You just give them $5,000, and then it's your money, and you basically using your own $5,000 on a credit line. So basically, you're just spending your own money on a credit card, and then it reports to the credit bureaus and stuff like that. But you should go to your banker and first ask, can what will it require to get a loan? I want to start up some type of taco stand, or I don't know, pizza shop or whatever. And ask them what is it, I need about $20,000. What does it require for me? I'm trying to start a food truck or something. What does it require for me to get a loan? And it's their job to tell you that. And you shouldn't feel ashamed to ask, okay, what can I, what do I have to do to get a loan? And if you got, let's say you got $20,000 in your bank account, you should go to the bank and ask them for a secured loan. If let's just say if you're not able to get the actual loan off of just a unsecured loan, which is not based off of any money that you have as collateral, you should be able to get a secured loan. If you're not able to get a secured loan, don't just go and get emotional and take your money out. No, don't do that. What you do is you go to another bank and you bring the same idea to them, but you don't have any money with them. You say, okay, I bank somewhere else, and if I put my money in this bank, can I get a secured loan off of this money that I have? And if they say yes, basically now you got cell phones and shit now. You ask them if I can record you saying this. No, I'm being all the way. I'm being like a friend, man. I'm trying to give you the game. I'm trying to help you out. Because some people have money, they just don't know what to do with. So you ask them, basically the same question. Can I get a secured loan off of my own money that I'm gonna put in the bank? And if they say yeah, basically yeah, just record them, basically them telling you. That way when you come back with the money, because what you're gonna ultimately do is when they tell you, they tell you basically that you can get the loan. You're gonna take your money. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the other banker, make sure he's there, whatever, and make sure, yeah, like you want to talk to him again, set up the appointment or whatever, walk to him and say, basically, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna basically go to that banker, and you basically gonna say, I want to make a withdrawal of my $20,000. And they probably, people don't care. These bankers act like they don't care, whatever, or whatever. Basically, they're gonna act like they don't care. They do care, but they don't care. They really don't care, but they do care. They're gonna act. Their manager is gonna ask you. If you really want to be thorough with it, you can write a letter. Yeah, writing a letter to the bank and explaining the situation. Nah, I wouldn't even do that. I just ask them for your money to write basically. You could either do that. I'm the type of person I like to do shit like that, but you don't necessarily have to do it like that. You could just basically write a check for $20,000 to the bank that's gonna give you the loan for your basically your $20,000, and you basically gonna utilize your money to get a loan. So you basically turning your $20,000 into $40,000 technically by getting that loan, and then all you have to do is pay it back, and you still have your $20,000 there. So it's kind of like you kind of sort of have 40,000, but you really don't. But as long as you pay that off, there's no way you can get in debt because it's you utilizing your money. It's like a certificate of deposit, but it's not. It's technically your money, but what you're doing is basically getting a loan off of your money, but you still have your money there. Okay. I mean, this is financial wizardry. It's kind of like going into credit default swaps and all this other type of stuff. But people actually do this, and they get money, they get rich off of doing this. They are going to charge you interest, of course, but it's a way you can actually, establish a relationship. Because basically, in theory, as long as you paid that loan off, let's say you paid it $20,000 off, now you should be able to get an unsecured loan in theory, or basically, I mean, by that time you've been in business. Hopefully, you've made a profit, made some money. Now you can, and you're still banking with the same bank. Now you can get a loan for $50,000 or whatever, or more money, if needed. That's how you do it, and it's like that's one way you could actually do it. But the thing is that here's the thing. I know I mentioned you got to be able to deal with white people and shit like that. But at the end of the day, white people don't just have all of the money. Okay, you got actually Asians on aggregate as a whole, as a collective, have more money than actually white people. Because collectively, what Asians do, this is why Asians have more money than white people. First of all, it's not that many of them, right, in this country. But what they do is when they get over here, they set a standard. What I mean, what do I mean by a standard? They make sure that everybody that they know, all of their friends, everybody that's damn near, okay, let's just say Indians. They have a fucking Indian standard. And it's very similar to a lot of racial groups. They make sure pretty much that their sons and daughters are quite a few things: doctor, lawyer, engineer, software developer, IT personnel of all sorts, because you got IT, it's in all different aspects, whether it be hardware, software, networking, okay, and business owner. Anything, just about all different aspects. It could be accounting, dentist, but they make sure that they set a standard to where it's like the standard is so fucking high that everybody, in order to fucking actually get, like, for example, a Indian, like you think hypergamy is something in the black community, as far as a lot of what, as far as hypergamy in the black community, is delusional hypergamy, because it's not based off of anything that it doesn't kind of it's kind of like what I'm getting at is writing a check that your ass can't cash, because a lot of times let's just say what black women want as far as their hypergamy, they don't stand up to what they actually want in a lot of cases. And also it's delusional because they don't a lot of times have the men to actually feel the void of what they actually want. And then even more, it's delusional because the men that actually have what they want, they don't even want. So let's rewind back to, let's just say, Indians. The women, in order to, let's just go back to the men. In order for the men to actually get a mate, an Indian mate, female mate, they have to be a successful person in their business or their career. They have to be, the standard is so high that in order for them to actually even fit in, like, is tremendous. So the standard is so I mean, and this is just in this country. When you go to their country, all you got to do is get a plane ticket, visa acceptance, or whatever. You go to their country, It's motherfuckers shitting on the side of the road, pissing, throwing up. Like, I mean, it's totally different. But when they get over to this motherfucker, till they get over in this country, okay, the standard is high. So, I mean, basically, I mean, this is our technically on quote unquote country where we piss and shit outside, right? So it's not like we have somewhere else that we fly into. We're born here, you know. I get it, right? You know, um, but the thing is that that standard basically is kind of like all over the place with when it comes to the black community. There's small enclaves where the standard is high, and usually those enclaves where black people live that have a higher standard, they tend to date out interracially to white, like the black women date uh white men, and then the black men date um white women, right? So a lot of that goes on. It is some that they do date in, quote unquote. But yeah, I mean the standard is like all over the place. So it's like that's that's how that goes, right? So at the end of the day, um you know, that's what I see in the Japanese. It's very it's the same thing. Koreans, uh, you know, Chinese, they all kind of have that standard. But I mean, there is people that are struggling over here that fit into that racial group. I don't want to say that all of them fit that standard. You have poor Indians that are over here, poor everything that as far as Asians that are over here. But on aggregate, that standard that they have is like basically very so high, and it's not that many of them that they over basically compensate for that to the point where Asians, as far as their actual population, are of a higher earning income group than even white people. Asians actually are in the highest economic bracket as far as aggregate in their small group, because they have a higher standard than any other racial group. But yeah, in their country, it doesn't work. It ain't necessarily like that in their home country, you know. But yeah, when they come up, soon as they get that plane ticket and they touch down, they get a punch in the face. This is the standard. Adhere to it, and then they adhere to that shit. They go to school, you know, get that PhD, get the master's degree, you know, start a business or whatever, and then they trying to make as much money and profit as they possibly can, and you know, rinse and repeat. But you know, the thing is that, you know, the standard for black people is kind of, it's like, what's the standard? You know, I mean, a Dodge Hellcat with a car note, or a Dodge Charger in a townhouse. Because see, here's another it's a couple websites. It's a website called What Do White People Like? What Do Black People Like? So black people tend to like to live in townhomes. They like townhomes. Now me, I've lived in a townhome, but I don't like townhomes. I actually prefer a standalone house, and pretty much, really, to be honest, I prefer my own estate where my neighbors are at least like 2 blocks away or a block away, you know, or at least at the very least, maybe a half a block away or a quarter of a block away. But yeah, I mean, it's those two websites I think are still up. But yeah, I mean, it kind of like helps you understand, like, let's say if you're an alien from another planet and you're trying to figure out people, it helps. But the thing about it is, here's the deal. This is a pretty big deal, and if you deal with this and you able to really, really deal with this, you're going to kind of basically deal with the problem, the root of the problem. And the root of the problem of lack of money is, basically not dealing with people. Putting your head in the sand and putting your hand over your ears and just basically, not doing nothing about it, putting your hand over your eyes and not doing anything about it, is not going to help you. You got to learn how to control your emotions when you talk to people. You got to control your tone. You got to control everything when it comes to communication. You have to be able to be, like Kevin Samuels, said, confident, assertive. I mean, confident, intelligent, assertive. CIA. But you gotta deal with people. You got to deal with people. You got to, get when you get to the point where even if you're working, you have to deal with people. But the thing about it is, when you're trying to get higher up the ladder of success, you're not gonna, like, one of the things my late uncle, my grandmother's brother, told me. He said no millionaire made $1 million by himself. It usually requires a bunch of people to, basically help you get there. It just pretty much, I'm gonna leave you with that. And basically, hopefully this is something that you can work on if you are not necessarily good at dealing with people. um and then, my email is available. you know if you have, some issues, you want me to join your live stream and talk about some things or whatever. If you want to start a live stream and you want to talk about how, you know uh, talk about me or whatever, what I'm saying, send me an email. I might entertain that. I don't know. I mean, if, depending on the thing is, as long as you give me a chance to respond. Because see, the thing is I watch people's live streams and stuff, and they don't give the people a chance to respond. They have their own little echo chamber, and they don't want to give people a chance to respond. Because it's like, if you want to call me names, if you want to say something about me, well, at least give me a chance to say something about you, because I could point out something probably about you that you're not gonna like. I mean, the thing is that as long as you keep it cordial and respectful as you should, we might be able to help each other. I do have I have a pretty decent following. And I'm looking to, pretty much help other people, and then we can help each other, and get some more subscribers, and kind of help each other with content. What I'm saying? I'm a email away. What I'm saying? And then, yeah, if you just basically, if I said something that hurt your feelings, if I called you broke too many times and it hurts your feelings, the fact that I said broke one too many times, um, even though the fact that I mentioned that I was broke, like, yeah, email me, tell me, hey, broke genius, hey, Abdul, you hurt my feelings, man. I just want to let you know, man, I don't like how you talking about broke people, man. You hurt my feelings. You made me want to go get a bottle of gin, and seeing, because you hurt my feelings calling me broke one too many times, man. You know, I don't like you calling people broke, dude. You know, just, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. I mean, don't, you know, hate watch me and shit. Just, you know, have some balls, man. Reach out to me. Let me know how I hurt your feelings. And I'll try to see if I can talk about it. We can set up a live stream, and then you can tell me how I hurt your feelings, man, or how you why you hate watch me or some shit like that. I don't know. But you know, anyway, this is all I'm gonna leave you with. You know, just, you know, you just gotta make sure you remember, you know, this is a situation, this is a life with, you know, this is 8 billion people on this planet. And this situation is a people situation. You know, you got people that are controlling certain, you know, hoarding wealth and stuff like that. Yeah, you do have that. You know,
Yeah.
Beta.
but you know, at the end of the day, you do have to deal with you know, the fact that you know, I'm not saying you should rob people or burglarize people and stuff like that, rob banks or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you have to deal with people, you know, go out. It'll help you, you know, like, you know, even if you got a cold call, you know, because I'm be honest with you. I'm you know, pretty much self-employed, you know, and I'm on my own pretty much. I'm off of a contract at the moment. I'm starting something tomorrow. I'm working on a project tomorrow, but it's just a kind of like a 1-day project. But you know, I'm reminded, man, I got to get out here. I got to start selling, man. You know, I got to start selling my businesses, my services. You know, I got to get out here and deal with the people. It's not easy because it's, you know, it's some really shitty people out here. You know, it's very challenging. I get it. You know, a lot of times I don't want to really be bothered with a lot of people. I just ideally wish I just had a whole bunch of money and I ain't had to deal with a lot of people like that. But at the end of the day, you still got to deal with people, man, to a certain extent. You still got to deal with it. And yeah, that's that.
He said to me, my grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. Said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors.